Hello and welcome to Script and Pencils, the comic book creator podcast from the Comic Crush. As previous episodes, we're going to be interviewing a comic creator today. Just want to remind you that you can keep up with the Comic Crush on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and Instagram and Threads at the Comic Crush. You can also find us on Blue Sky at thecomiccrush.bsky.social. And you can find us on Facebook if you want to check out all the stuff we do there. Every article, every interview all gets posted to all the socials, so you will be able to keep up with us no matter where you're kind of looking. Check out comiccrush.com for interviews, reviews, podcasts, and more. And also, you can check out our Patreon and our web store. We sell comics. It's UK only at the moment, I'm afraid. But you can buy new and recent series as well as sort of older back issues. We're going to be talking to John Cowen today about his new Kickstarter for his book, D.O.M.O Police. Let's say hello to John now. Hello, John. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Paul?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's great to see you. We should probably just mention to the audience that we have a bit of shared history. Many years ago. It feels like it's probably about 20 years ago now, right? I mean,
yeah. Virgin Megastore.
Yeah, so we both worked in the Virgin Megastore in Piccadilly Circus, which was a unique experience to say the least.
Sure, it's crazy times. I think I worked at Office Street and Piccadilly Circus. But
That's
we
right.
met,
That's right.
didn't we? And it was just very much a little microcosm of people from all around the world working in the record store, and
it was great. I loved it. Very unique experience. But
I miss it. I miss Virgin Megastore in a way that I enjoyed walking. It was so much to you don't have that experience really anymore about physical products.
But one product you can get your hands on, one piece of physical media you are going to want to own is am I saying it right, John? Is it D.O.M.O or D.O.M.O?
No, actually it's meant to be D.O.M.O, but I pronounce it D.O.M.O because obviously it's a Japanese word. And so I say D.O.M.O police.
So D.O.M.O actually is a Japanese word. What does that mean?
I think it means quite a few things. It's sorry, I
put you on the spot, John.
D.O.M.O arigato, isn't it?
Thank you.
Very awesome. I'm sorry. Shall we start again? Oh,
no. No, you're right. Don't worry. It's live, John. I can't start again. I can't go back to the beginning. So it does have a sort of dual meaning.
God, I even looked this when I did the.
Don't worry. It's fine.
Very. It's like very much, but I don't know where it came from. It was just a random idea that came out about this demons, occult, and magical organizations police.
I love that because I was wondering today. It's like actually I've never asked John what it stands for, and in looking through the art that you sent me, guys, we. Showing you some art today from John's book, specifically from issue 2, I believe, John. So if you want to blow us up to full screen, just hit the little icon down there and blow us up to full screen. I'm going to show you some now. So here we go. These is this the sort of inside front page on?
This was inside pages. Like the one on the right is the recap stories, the story recap.
Right.
So if someone hasn't actually seen the first bit, they can understand what's going on from that. But in the Kickstarter, you can get book 1 and 2. So
yeah, I was just about to ask. That's quite unusual for Kickstarters. I don't think I see many that do the 2 issues together as one. What made you decide to do that?
Well, because I thought maybe new readers would want to catch up on what they've missed out on. This is like my 3rd Kickstarter, so it's all a big learning curve for me. And but I have still got some books from the previous Kickstarter, so I was thought, and yeah, you might as well get both. So yeah.
You say you've done some Kickstarters before. Now, were they for the book? I believe that's called Veiled.
Veiled, yeah. Veiled was,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, when I started making comics years ago, I'd taken a break from making comics, and I came back to doing it in my 20s, and then I like 30s, and then I had to start sort of from scratch again. So it was more of a vehicle to learn how to make comics again. So over each year, I did 1 issue, and then at the end, I put it all into a book, and went backwards and updated some of the artwork that didn't look so good, and tried to make the continuity a bit better, because I was writing the first drawing, as I often do. And and then I hadn't kickstarted any of the previous books, so then I thought I would try the Kickstarter for the collected edition, and it was that was a big learning curve. The printer was a bit crazy. It was Spain, run by an English guy, but
right.
And they sent the books, and the colors were all wrong compared to the proof, and I was like, well, surely the proof should be exactly what it's going to look like, what you're going to get. So then, I had to get it redone. I don't know. But, it was.
So I certainly remember reading issues of Veiled at the time. Veiled, sorry, at the time. I've been calling it Veiled for so long in my head that I think that's the title now. And I really enjoyed that, and you can definitely see the sort of manga influence on your work. And would you say that you've gone with D.O.M.O Police? You've gone further into that?
Yeah. I decided to embrace the manga more in this one, because originally I was more influenced by American comics. And, I love people like Dave McKean and Neil Gaiman as a writer and stuff, and I still do. But I found my work was drifting towards Japanese influences, and like quite into Q. I can't pronounce the name. Dorahedro.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
I'm terrible with pronouncing names, and
me too.
Blame as well. I like that, and Biomega.
Which I just found out. Speaking of things that we can't pronounce, Blame is apparently supposed to be pronounced Blam.
I wondered if that was. I was like, "There's no."
I didn't know that. This is my lack of knowledge of manga. So I only just found that out at work the other day. So I sometimes work for Gosh Comics, and I was there, and one of my colleagues, who is a kind of manga expert, was saying that it's kind of supposed to be pronounced Blam. What is it difficult trying to fuse those 2 influences, or is it something that kind of came naturally within the book?
Well, with Veiled, it was I was experimenting with paint and different inks and different styles, and every issue would change, and it would be, and it's like I wanted to try to find a way that I could make comics and do it quicker and more consistent, and in the end, I found that you know, well, it's still evolving. You know, I've started using screen tone effects to my artwork, and so it's starting to, like the one on the left is I think pure ink, and then the one on the right they're starting to add more screen tone effects. So
right.
I think I'm constantly trying to evolve into what's going to come next. But yeah, I kind of like a lot of old manga, I think, and some of the weirder ones. I'm not really, I don't know loads of what people are into or what is popular, but I guess I like sci-fi. I like a bit of horror manga style. Yeah, I think it's evolving towards the manga side because I kind of like black and white comics as well.
I used to hate them when I was younger. Not hate them, but I used to.
Yeah,
I was really into colouring, and I really liked digital colouring in the 90s, and I was really into that. And I really loved the look of John Romita Jr.'s Incredible Hulk work. I think that was done with Peter David. And so when I came across like a lot of black and white comics, I was like, oh no. But you know, now I've kind of evolved and grown up.
Well, I was similar. I guess the black and white comics I had when I was a kid were like the old Spider-Man annuals when they were like, you know, all the old, and I loved them, the Steve Ditko and all that reprints. But I also, you know, I grew up reading Action Force comics starting out there, and then Image comics, and I loved the colors and the style. So yeah, it was. But I always had a soft spot for, like, you know, Japanese style. When we used to go to Forbidden Planet when I was a kid, you know, and come across some weird Japanese toys or books, and I was like, is this real? Is this where's this come from? What is it? And so I've always had that as well, and also Judge Dredd as well, the black and white Judge Dredd.
Absolutely.
Annuals. I used to get them too. So I really like Judge Dredd. I always found 2000. I like 2000 AD a lot, but for me, I was a kid. There was never enough Judge Dredd in each issue.
Yeah.
So there's like one
downside of anthologies, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So the Judge Dredd annual for me was always really good because it was just full on Judge Dredd all the way through, and rather than just one short little story. And yeah. So so, but also I tendency to want to work on my own. So, and colouring takes so long. It adds so much time onto each. It's like I can't be bothered. So I thought, why not just embrace this manga side of my work and let's go for that and see what happens.
Have you gone? Sorry, have you gone for the sort of the coloured end papers the way manga does, like the first few pages in colour? Because that always, when you look at manga, that always feels very decadent to me, because you know you've got this black and white piece of, you know, art in your hands, and then you've got the decadent colour end papers, and
I was going
the
to
first 4 pages or so.
Yeah, the first few pages in my head were going to be colour, and I was going, but with the printer, in the end, at the moment, I'm trying to keep the cost down in the printing. So
right.
I decided to get against it. But I think in the future, yes, I like that about mangas as well. Like the first couple of pages are coloured, and then it just fades out, or just go straight to black and white. So yeah, it was and maybe if I find someone who I can work with on the colour, and then I don't have to do it myself, then there might be something to do. At the moment,
sorry.
Yeah. No, at the moment, I just think I'm working this way.
I've got to say, I love the kind of line of action here, and the sort of dynamic of it. It's fantastic. I really like that, and
Oh.
that looks like a great couple of pages right there. And I love the kind of inner work. I guess they're in a sewer, right? So I can see the inner workings.
Underground. There's this nightclub called the Hell Club,
right?
And she's sort of trapped under the ground. There's all these sort of tunnels, and yeah, she kind of Penguina kind of gets trapped in by this nefarious gang called the Health Children, and
right.
Yeah, and
so I can see all the inner workings, the pipes there that are kind of then kind of melding onto the panel. I think that's great.
Yeah, I was trying to be a bit experimental in the layout there, and because when I work, each panel tends to be one drawing. So I do one drawing, scan it in, and then I build the pages in Photoshop.
Okay.
Then import that into InDesign, where I add the text and stuff.
And do you draw digitally, or are you drawing pencil and paper?
Yeah, most of it is pencil and ink, and then scanned in, and then add effects and stuff in Photoshop. The pipes is actually vector graphics, so in that, but generally most of it. Sometimes I add grays in Photoshop, or sometimes I'm adding screen tone a bit now too, and several loads of layers. But I start with pencil, and my pencil's always crazy messy. And then I use a light box to trace out the simple line of the drawing, print that out onto a heavy paper, and then add the ink in, with the grays. I add a bit of water to the ink and get some grays. And I don't know why I work with grays. I know a lot of people don't. It's just black and white, but it's something I enjoy doing, and I just so yeah, it's part of my work. Just at the moment anyway, could change.
I mean, it's a fascinating look, but it sounds staggeringly labor intensive. Do you enjoy that about it? I mean, does it feel more handcrafted? Does it feel more?
I thought about it, and I worry I'd lose something if I went full on digital.
Sure.
I don't know why. I guess part of me when I was growing up, all the old creators were doing it with pencil and ink, and you read all these how to make comic books, and it's all, the old way of doing it, the Marvel way, and all that, and and then digital sort of hit as soon as I wanted to start making books, but I don't know. I prefer. I think it's a mixture. I start off with ink, pencil, then scan it in, and then it becomes digital. It's labor intensive, but I think that's how it's a lot less than it was. But when I was using paint, that would take forever, wait for things to dry and stuff. So, but I think maybe I might, but I want it to be able to still look like my work, and I'm afraid I lose something if I don't have my ink and my pencils and stuff. But I have tons of paper. It would be quite nice to have it all digital. and the amount of time I drop ink everywhere, and have it get all over my hands the whole time. It's would be nice to do that. But I think there's no right way to make comics, and I think everyone has the way they do things, and but I'm still learning. So it's always a learning curve to how I'm doing things. I look at other people's work, and I try to find influences that I can carry over into mine, and try to get the same feeling and emotion through the paper, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And there is something really enjoyable about working with your hands, right? I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I like having tons of paint brushes and pens. And what annoys me though is that I always seem to keep the pens that don't work anymore. So then I'm having to go through all the pens trying to find one that actually works.
I don't think I've ever met an organized artist though, John.
No,
even among great artists, I don't think I've ever met an organized one. So I think you're doing okay. Don't sweat it, man. You're doing good. Now let's talk about the storyline. What is D.O.M.O Police about?
Well, the main character is this officer called Morgan March. She's a witch cop, so she's a witch, but her job is to police the paranormal, the people and creatures that would seek to do us harm with magic or demons and stuff. She's living her life in a place called the City. It's a town with no name, and she's D.O.M.O is a very small federal agency. They only have one or two witches per major city. So she tends to work on her own, and the other police officers tend to think she's just like, not really doing anything, because they don't really. I guess she fixes things they don't really understand. So anyway, she's that's the main character, and this story is about. There's a superhero in the city called Penguina, and she's an Antarctic Press character from it's a comic. Antarctic Press have a shared universe, so I've worked on her from the beginning a little bit. So I wanted to bring her in.
So can I ask?
Yeah,
it's kind of owned by a publisher.
Yeah.
Are they okay with you using it?
Yeah, Ben Dunn, it was his idea actually. This sort of superverse, this shared superverse where we can people can use with permission, obviously, each other's characters, and he was good. He sort of started this a few years ago, about or maybe 1 year ago, I don't know. But anyway, so I asked to use Penguina, and it seems it's a 2-part story, and in the first part, her pet friend Pengbee, who I came up with, he's kind of like this alien dog that looks a bit like a penguin and a bit like a beetle. He's kind of just this weird character that I came up with in the first issue of Penguina. Anyway, there's another woman from Penguina's home planet, and she originally wanted Pengbee, and because he's kind of a useful creature, and so she steals back Pengbee, and also and Penguina goes to try to rescue him, and ends up getting caught herself by the woman and her gang, the Hell's Children. And then her dad, who is a samurai penguin, who she from Antarctica, he's also sort of he's an Antarctic Press character as well, and I wanted to include him because I thought it added a bit of like the Ninja Turtles feel to it. I don't know, but he comes searching for his daughter Penguina because she's been missing for a week, and so he's in town, and then he basically he sees Morgan in action, and he's like, she's the one who can help me find my daughter. So then he goes, meets up with Morgan, and wants her to join him on his quest to find his superhero daughter Penguina. And the second book.
I mean, it's a wild story, like not what I was expecting. It has to be said, John.
I tend to just go with the weird ideas that I have and think, yeah, why not?
That is it exactly. Why not? I'm currently reading a book called Dear Editor.
All right.
From I think Mad Cave, I want to say, and inexplicably in that the lead character is a anthropomorphized deer.
Yeah, exactly.
And no one mentions it. No one says anything. So I think there is a thing of just throwing. I mean, it's just comics, isn't it? Right? Just throwing wild ideas in there.
Yeah. Well, in the first issue of Penguina, she's talking to her penguin dad via some sort of psychic connection. He's in Antarctica, asking how you doing in the city, is everything all right? And she's, oh, I don't really have any friends and stuff, you know. Then in the recent issue, she's talking to him on mobile phone. She's, oh, it's great you're using your phone now. And he's on the train in disguise with some sunglasses and a trench coat, you know. He's still a penguin. And so I just thought that was funny, but you know, it's kind of you know, he thinks he's in disguise, but he's got his sunglasses. But yeah, why not? You know, it's just the way comics can be, I guess. I like you know, like James Gunn, you know, what he did with Guardians of Galaxy, you know, with Rocket. And I think it can adding that sort of weirdness to things can really make a compelling story, I think. But
absolutely. I think idiosyncrasies are kind of almost necessary in comics, right? I mean,
I think what's that Gerard Way it's not Doom Patrol, is it? No, the children that were superheroes,
Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, Umbrella Academy. Yeah, with the monkey that's a butler, you know. And I just think all that sort of stuff brilliant. You know, just wanted to just include it and just say, well, here's a penguin. You know?
That seems like an instant sell to me.
And I think Penguina deep down thinks that she's a penguin too. You know, she's a woman dressing up as a penguin and going out and fighting crime as a penguin. You know, but obviously she's done.
Did you go for a legendary yes father I shall become a penguin moment? Oh, you're probably going to get that. Like in the origin, you should
my one's always set. My one's always set when she's in her 20s, where she's trying to like create a new life for herself. So other writers have made stories up, and I'm not too sure where she is in their stories, but whenever I write a story for Penguina, it's always in my, you know, and I find it's quite easy for me. I think it's quite easy to write stories for her, and I like these street level superheroes, you know, like Daredevil and stuff, where they just jump around the city beating up crooks, you know, and I think having a, you know, comic book shop and doing that in the evenings is kind of a fun story, you know.
Oh man,
things go on from there.
It does sound like a lot of fun. So you're running the Kickstarter now. You've got, I mean, I guess from the time this goes out, there'll be about 10 to 12 days to go. You're at 77% right now. Hopefully,
thanks to all the people who backed it. That was very nice of to whoever has been involved in it and supported it. Some ways.
So John, we'll put the link in the description for John's Kickstarter, and you can back that there, folks. And you know, I do advise you to, because as we've talked about, it is an idiosyncratic, funny, entertaining, action-filled book. Just looking at the pages that John has shown me in the last
there's also
days, like he's sent these over. There's a ton of atmosphere there, and
this is the guy with the upside down cross t-shirt. He's Morgan's brother, and he's an necromancer. So he is kind of involved with the woman that Freya, who actually runs the Health Children gang, you know, the leader, and he doesn't know that she's like that he moves to the city and he doesn't know that she's like this, and she wants him to Well, they I don't know, spoilers, I guess, but yeah, it involves.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
But yeah, and there's some zombies pop up. You know, as you can see on the left, zombies, a little zombie trap that they fall into. The Morgan and the Penguin.
Right. I mean, comics needs more kind of idiosyncratic, wild stuff, and I think you're certainly getting that here.
Yeah, I hope so.
So people can back this now.
Yeah.
Have you done things like various covers, or what sort of stuff can people get if they back it, John?
Yeah, no, there's well, you get free stickers with each issue. So the first and second issue come with exclusive stickers that you can peel off, and the second one comes with Samurai Penguin with a little wanted poster, missing poster for Penguin and a little zombie head, and you can get well, there is a T-shirt which I should be wearing, but I don't have it on, and you can get an illustration as well with it by me. And I haven't done many covers. I only did the one version. Again, this is a learning curve. I'm still new to it. You can buy all. Yeah, that's the stickers that you get with. So, nice. And there's a different set of stickers with the first book. And the first book is sort of like a suit up stickers where you can put a jacket and a bulletproof vest on.
Amazing. I love it. I don't know sounds great.
I remember these.
That's taking me right back.
You know, you see old comics where you see cut out the outfit and then attach it to the character. But yeah, and also Morgan's dad, he turns out to be a bit of a demon himself. Like her mum is a witch, but her dad is like a demon. He can devil, and I have her. She goes down to whatever hell he's in at the moment, or Netherworld, and basically she's annoyed because her younger brother has been sent to live with her, and I like the idea of having siblings that are just angry, you know, not getting on and fighting, the parents being dysfunctional as well, and trying to bring in sort of real world problems to people that, you know, seem a bit fantastical, I guess. You know, yeah, it was. I think some of it is from my, you know, my relationship with my parents and my siblings, you know, come into the relationship between, you know, Morgan and Mage, who is her younger brother, and their parents and stuff like that. And yeah.
Oh, nice. It's great that you can get that stuff into a book like this. You know what I mean? It's always fascinating seeing what comic creators work into the actual art themselves, and this is no less so. So that Kickstarter is running now. It's running for about another 10 to 12 days. Do support John. He's a terrific artist and creator. We're going to put his socials there so you can follow him, follow the progress of the book. I want to see this printed. Please back it, guys. And also, John, in his professional life, is an excellent designer. He's based in Sweden. Fantastic graphic designer. He does awesome work, and if you ever need any work like that done, you can certainly contact him about that. Yes. But I'm sure a lot of people are going to be contacting you about your comics, John. And
that would be brilliant.
I'm really pleased to see you out there, still doing stuff, still creating comics.
Yeah.
Same. And you know, it's good to know that your pals are doing well, and I'm really pleased for you as always. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us your time.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Thank you for the interview. Thanks.
Not at all. I hope it helps in some small way, and I hope you get your the full amount that you need to create this book. And we certainly look forward to doing it. All the details will be in the description below, guys. So you can back that Kickstarter. Please do it. Please at least give it a look and see if it's for you. John, we'll hopefully catch up again with the next project, or just catch up next time you're in the UK, or if I ever make it to Sweden.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'd love to catch up with you. It's always a pleasure when I get to see John.
I'll give you a shout out when I get to London next.
It'd be lovely. It'd be lovely. And all the best to you and the family.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, at the Comic Crush on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. At the Comic Crush.bsky.social on Blue Sky. At the Comic Crush on Hive as well. I always forget about Hive. It's
is that still going?
It is still going. I don't know as many people on it. I'd love to see more people use it, but I still use it now and then. But yeah, you can get us on all those socials and Facebook. Check out the web store for comics, and do check out the Patreon, where you can support us from just £2 a month, so less than the price of a cup of coffee. Thank you so much for tuning in, John. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks. Good to see you.
Cheers.